Innovation Hour was a program started just a year ago by Peyton Eisner and some folks over at OLLI, Osher Lifelong Learning Program. And we just had this idea that we could do a pitch competition here on campus where students would bring their ideas to a group of elder learners, as they call themselves, and find out if there was support for that idea, but also get feedback on several things, on their public speaking, on their idea, and on the feasibility of getting it accomplished and the money they would need to go forward with it.
So Innovation Hour, this is our second annual one, so this is the second year that we've offered it. And the first year was basically an idea from our advisor, Dr. Brandon Nabinet in the communications department. He wanted to provide an opportunity for students to be more creative. Found that our group would be a great avenue to start creating that because we do put on a lot of events, so we have the skills and making sure that we can actually put on it logistically.
David Johnson was the guy at OLLI that came to me and he said, why don't we have a public speaking contest? So we thought about that idea for a little bit and I said, that's really not, it could work, but public speaking students are all over the map in terms of what they're interested in. I mentioned Shark Tank to him too. And so we were looking for what would that be? What would that look like?
While Dr. Nabinet might have been the person with the initial idea, he has since stepped back, allowing others to take the reins with this program, like Amelia Davidson.
So I guess my day-to-day is more making sure that students have the resources that they need. So very rarely do I have the answer, but I know the people that will have the answer, so it's directing those students to help bring their idea into fruition.
Dr. Nabinet interacts with his students every day, so he finds he enjoys a different audience in this program.
But what I really appreciate about the Innovation Hour is that I connect with these lifelong learners.
We sat down with the Athens to hear about their experience with Innovation Hour.
We thought it would be interesting because we're always interested in what the students at Furman are doing.
The Athens are an example of OLLI participants who were willing to experiment with a new program, still working out the logistics.
First year, we were just seeing what worked. The other thing that was just coming together in that first year was funding. And we used the Innovation Center for the funding here on campus that was just starting. It was kind of like some seed money that President Davis had contributed to it. And then luckily this year, OLLI itself, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, they contributed the money this year, so $3,000 coming straight from that program.
The money that the Innovation Hour program received then went to the OLLI students for them to vote on who won the grant.
I think it varied quite a bit from person to person on how they selected. We were given 500 play dollars.
Fake bucks.
Fake bucks, and then we could distribute those however we wanted.
As a former teacher, they said, take a look at the presentation. Did they use a lot of filler words? Did they have good answers? Since I participated in argumentation and debate all through high school and partially in college, I sat at a different direction, and I sat and watched and then looked at how poised some of them were, how well they wrote their script.
Dr. Nabinet first talked about how some of the older people that he interacts with at his church, for example, move at a slower pace.
These OLLI students are nothing like that. They are on top of the world, they're changing things, they are politically active, they want to make handiworks and projects and things that
we really like it. We enjoy it, and so well, I would do it again for sure.
Clearly, this program is off to an excellent start after only 2 years.
So Innovation Hour is an opportunity for both Furman students and OLLI students to come together to kind of talk about creative endeavors that our students may have.
Students come into each class in the beginning and pitch their ideas to the OLLI students who vote on a winner.
Last year's winners came back and spoke at the beginning of this year. And so Erica Hovey and Megan Slining were the two winners.
Erica Hovey created a program known as the Literacy Corner on our very own Furman campus.
We serve children from across the upstate, Anderson, Pickens, Greenville, Spartanburg counties. We've had students from all those counties here with us, and we serve children ages 6 to 14, starting with those who have just finished kindergarten on up to those who could be rising ninth grade. We're bringing in children from the community who have literacy difficulties and pairing them one-on-one with our students. And for a month, they work one-on-one together to improve their reading and writing skills.
Erica shared with us one of her favorite experiences with the Literacy Corner.
There's a story of a little boy, and when he came to us, he was really struggling with reading. And on his last day, he had actually written a short book with pictures on his own and had drawn pictures to go with it, and he held it up, and one of the things he said was, "It ain't hard no more." Think about what a long-lasting impact that will have if he feels like reading is something he can do, he can feel good about himself. I mean, that's really going to help him all through life.
Amelia reflected on how she saw a change in the Furman students' ability to give pitches throughout the course of the program.
It's wonderful to see how eloquent they've become in pitch talk, because a pitch talk is very different than if you're presenting research or talking about a project in class.
Through the Pitches and Innovation Hour, it's amazing to see how these programs are progressing with the funds they are receiving. Erica talks about how her program has brought about change in children in the community.
They don't enjoy reading, and so by using different approaches and basing them around their interests, that's where we really hope that their joy of reading will grow.
As Innovation Hour continues, we hope we will be able to see more programs become a reality.